Hello friends, today I will be showing you a new beginner video, sort of a guide for beginner strategies, the do's and don'ts of Rush Royale for beginners. I often get the question, when should I merge or when should I level up my skills? Now, this might seem fairly simple, but it's hard to explain because it depends on every game you play, every opponent you play, every deck your opponent is playing. So let's try and explain it what you shouldn't do instead of what you should do. If you guys like these types of videos, please leave me a comment, a like, or subscribe. That would help me out a lot. Now, let's get started with the first point of today. It will be 2 points for one. One is make sure you have a balanced deck. Here we have our opponent's deck. You can clearly see 4 damage units and 1 hex as a support card. You simply don't have the time to level them all up. In a PvP game it's going too fast. You can't get max benefit out of all those units. So try focusing on a good DPS unit supported by the other units to get maximum benefit. The second point was, oh my god, this deck sucks. I hear it all the time, but think about it. It will probably not be the deck, but it will be you not knowing how to play it. So stay calm and give the deck a chance. You will need more practice. Don't give up on a deck just because you lose one game. Next up, balancing your mana. It's not because you have saved up a ton of mana that you should be spamming your board full of units, or you should be leveling all your skills. Take a breather, look what is happening, look what your opponent is doing, and use your mana when you need to use it. Look at the game in the background as an example. My Boreas is already at max level, my opponent is under heavy pressure, and I have a ton of mana. I can just wait and see what happens. Merging, an important part of Rush Royale. Look at my board. I don't have the best start of the game, I don't have the best units, I don't even have a DPS unit. When people tell you to not over-merge, this is what they mean. You have a little time before you get in trouble, so use it. But whatever you do, don't start panic merging. Another good starting guideline would be, don't merge if you don't have to. So if you're in a relaxed position, you're not under pressure, you have plenty of units, you have some mana stocked up in the bank, just let the game play and see what your opponent is going to do. But don't get too relaxed that you don't fall behind in damage. Our next point, build up. Build up your board in a good way. A good example of this is all the opponents I play in this video, or almost all, they have more than 1 damage unit. The guy I'm playing right now has the engineer as his main damage unit, and besides that he uses a wind archer. This is totally not necessary. The reason people at this level do this is because with 1 damage unit they don't know how to either handle the early game and build up enough damage, or handle the late game if they feel their damage is getting lower. It's one of the two. So what do? They put like a late game damage unit in their game, which in this case would be the engineer, and a wind archer for the early game because it does a lot of quick damage early on. If you combine the tips given in this video, you will soon be able to play with 1 damage dealer and don't need to waste spots in your deck on characters you don't need to play. A little in between, just so you know, I'm playing my alt account, so I don't have my high crit rate, I don't have all the units, so I'm just making do with what I have. If you look at the different decks I'm playing in this video, you will see it's different decks, it's random decks basically, because I believe at this level of trophies you don't need the perfect deck. If you just play a little bit smart, you can basically win all your games and get higher up in trophies real quick. If you pay attention to the game playing in the background, the combination of these tips, you will see that he's getting slightly pressured, and I don't even have half a decent board yet, but I have my Boreas, my main damage dealer. I've got him maxed, and I just have the space to play the game I want and build my board slowly. So you can see only 4 damage units, 1 with tier 2, and my opponent, yeah, he's not doing very well, he's getting pressured. So pay close attention to these tips and you'll be able to do the same. For our next tip, pay close attention to the priestess units in the background. Learn your cards and use them to your advantage.
Make this work again. Thank you for supporting me.
I tried benefiting most from the priestess card, making it so I would have a lot of mana early on, and because of this I was able to have 2 tier 3 damage units and even a tier 3 hex unit this early in the game, as you can see in the video right now. For this next tip, we will be starting backwards at the end of the video, where you can see I lost a game. I lost a game because I didn't follow my damage and I wasn't paying attention.
Oh my god!
As you can see, I have plenty of mana, but then Tribunal happens. He takes away 2 of my units, I wasn't paying attention, I still have 2 tier 3 units, so I thought I was golden. But clearly I wasn't. The pressure starts building up and I start getting in trouble. As you can clearly see, I have plenty of mana to do something, but I'm not doing anything. Of course, this is a mistake of mine because I didn't pay attention, but it has the same effect if you don't follow your damage. And by that I mean, if you are taking it too easy, you're too confident and you don't build your damage up at the right time. Because then the pressure starts building up, like you can see on the board right now, and before you know it, it's too late. At this point I wake up, I notice I'm in trouble, and I try to fix it, and I even start making some mistakes. And that brings me to my final point. And that is, put the pressure on your opponent instead of being the one that is getting pressured. If you master the tips and tricks from this video, in no time you'll be able to climb the ranks and get those legendary chests higher up the ladder. This will be the end of the video. I hope you guys learned something, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you soon on the battlefield. If you like this video, please leave a like, drop a comment and subscribe. That would help a lot. I hope to see you guys on the battlefield.